You, of course, are watching the Huddle. I'm here with former Milwaukee Buck John Henson and Chris Walder, Odd Sharks NBA expert. And guys, I want to talk about the Toronto Raptors real quick because I don't think I've ever seen a more honorable. I've seen the term ethical being thrown around, and maybe in an even Canadian way, polite tanking to an NBA season in all my days watching this league. 4-14 straight up. But a team of the people, gentlemen, 12-6 against the spread. This team is basically in most of their games. 3-point loss to the Celtics, 2-point loss to the Pistons, 4-point loss to the Pistons, 2-point loss to the Clippers, 2-point loss to the Nuggets, on and on and on. Also worth noting, per Hoops Hype, 22nd in league payroll compared to, say, Philly, who's 9th in payroll. So, John, I'll start with you. Is this the most competitive bad team in the NBA?
I had to take a deep dive. I mean, they got 4 guys, almost 5 guys making over 20 million. Bruce Brown's hurt, Quickly's injured. Olynyk, who's a key piece for any team that wants to contend off the bench. They're built to be competitive. I don't think they're in tank mode. I'm gonna throw it out there. I think they're just losing games that they need to win and they need to get healthy. Now when you look at Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey, sure, they'd fit right in, but they could end up not even getting close to any of those guys. So I think Masai has built them to be competitive. They're just not winning games. I don't think they're walking around there happy. I don't think they're walking around there like, hey, we'll be fine. They have the talent. They have the guys. I mean, at some point you have to start trying to win games. And I don't think one more year and a lottery pick is going to help them tremendously. Especially at the top of the draft, even if you get Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg, I just don't think that they're just going to come in and change the status quo of your organization. So with the money they're paying, even though it's 22nd, I think that's an ode to ownership and the executives that they're 22nd because they have some guys and they can win some games. And I think that'll flip as well. I see them being a play-in team, maybe a low seed. I'm high on the Raptors right now.
Chris, I need you to jump in there, and then I'll let you respond, Chris. But then I want your thoughts on this team at large as well, because you're a guy that's watching this team every game. Are you enjoying riding with this group?
Ninja, I love this. This is hilarious to me because this is exactly how I wanted this regular season to go for the Toronto Raptors. Like John said, like if healthy, this team is probably too good to bottom out. Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, and Grady Dick are kind of like in that most improved player discussion, as is Jakob Poeltl. We're calling him Shaka Poeltl. North of the border, he was putting up numbers we haven't seen since the big Aristotle, which is insane. But at the same time, like, look at all these losses that we just had. 2 buzzer-beating losses. 2. One is bad enough. You have 2. Jason Tatum with the Boston Celtics, and then just recently Jaden Ivey with the Detroit Pistons. Of their 14 losses, 4 have been by exactly 2 points, and 8 have been by 6 or less, which is silly. Because, again, if these guys were healthy, they would be probably a middling 500 team. But if there was ever a year to try and bottom out, this is the year, because Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, even a couple of other guys in this draft class are transcendent level players. They are franchise building players. And if you throw one of those guys into this mix with this current group of the Toronto Raptors, again, considering how just god awful the Eastern Conference is, next year you're looking at a team with one of those guys that can contend for home court advantage in the Eastern Conference. And I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Just not a lot has gone right, unfortunately, for this team. A new head coach in Darko Rajakovic is still learning the tricks of the trade, getting his feet wet, being a head coach in the National Basketball Association. A lot of just careless mistakes at the end of basketball games in these tight games. Barrett's getting a lot of ridicule in the media for kind of some of his late game execution and some of the looks that he's been missing. But this is the growing pains of a rebuilding, a retooling basketball team. So if this is just kind of the way the season is meant to be, I am all for it. This is the most entertaining 4-4 basketball team I can remember watching. We're playing the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. They're 4-14. How miserable do you think their fan base is? Because they had aspirations of grandeur in the Western Conference and trying to make a push for the playoffs. And even a team like the Philadelphia 76ers, who have one of the best big threes in basketball, and now they're just trying to stay afloat themselves. I think the Raptors are currently in a better position than both of them. I'm going to go down with the ship happily. I will be lighting off fireworks, standing atop that boat as it sinks into the water, as long as it brings us a top 2 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, because at that point, it'll be all worth it.